listening yesterday evening to a lot of people talk about Ronnie and stories they know about Ron from his life. What came through was, of course, Ron the father, Ron the grandfather. What a wonderful job he did at those things. A lot of stories, too, I have to tell you about Ron the life of the party. That's maybe one of the understatements of all time. Nobody could light up a party like Ron. But I want to talk about another aspect of Ron that maybe not everyone knows about quite so well or hasn't seen in action. It's 1971. I'm living in Heidelberg, Germany. Been there a couple of months, spending my evenings hanging out in a pub called Zum Zeppel. I'm sitting with what the Germans call a regular table or a Stammtisch. I'm there with a bunch of Germans, a couple of Americans. Sort of enjoying it, working on my beer drinking skills and my German language skills. Perhaps not fully aware that the former is a little bit of an impediment to the latter, but it's going okay. Early one evening, sitting in the pub waiting for the rest of my crew to arrive, and I look across the aisle and there's a gentleman sitting on the other side. Maybe gentleman's the wrong word, but anyway, a guy came across the aisle, and he motions to me and he says, "Hey, how come you're always sitting over there with those Germans? Why don't you come over here with your countrymen?" That was my introduction to Ron Bond. Of course, I did that. As a result, I have friendships from a number of people who are here today that have been with me for almost a half a century. It literally changed my life. Hard to describe. I don't know if I would have gone sitting with a bunch of Germans with language barriers and all of that, but moving to the Stammtisch, the 69 chapter of the Heidelberg Men's Club, as it were, made a huge difference in my life. Fast forward 6 years. Now it's 1977. The 69 chapter, at least the Heidelberg version of the Men's Club, is pretty much broken up. The members, most of them Americans, are scattered back in the States from coast to coast, Vermont to Texas. I'm in Denver, working on a master's degree in history that I will never finish. Because my first marriage is on the rocks, I can't concentrate on my studies. My dreams, my plans for life are all shattered. I don't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. The worst time I ever knew emotionally. Inference number 2. For Ron. Calls me up on the phone, we're chatting, he says, "Hey, come to Baltimore. You can stay with Mick and I and the kids as long as you like. Be with friends, have a chance to get your head together, make some new plans." I mean, this is a guy he just knows his drinking buddy, into his house, just like that. So of course I went. I spent that summer in the 3rd floor dormer, coming home one night in the bars. It felt like about 27 flights up. Of course, in the daytime, in the summertime, up there with no air conditioning and a 3-inch fan for cooling, it felt like the Gobi Desert. But emotionally, it was everything that I needed to do exactly what Ron said, to get my life back together again. And I can't describe. Thanks doesn't begin to give the gratitude that I owe to Ronnie for that. All I can say is, old friend, I look forward to seeing you again. For anyone who's ever sat on a Stammtisch, I'll say,
Very good.